Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading for the period of Sunday, the 30th of August through Saturday to come, the 5th of September, which I think may also be Memorial Weekend. That weekend, I think that Monday is Memorial Day. Anyway, let's get right into it. Once again, the universe is blessing me with all the other issues that have been happening. I'm lucky enough that we don't have anything on the Hebrew, Islamic, or Christian calendars that we're going to talk about today, only on the planetary or celestial calendar, and that is Mercury. Well, a few things happen on the 5th, actually, Saturday the 5th, the last day for which this reading is. But the main one that we're going to talk about is Mercury entering Libra. So I'll do it at the end like I did last week. I'll just start. So going into the reading, you know and understand that Mercury in Libra Mercury's comfortable in Libra, right? Because that's a fellow air sign. Mercury is a ruler of communication and logic in the sign of Gemini and the sign of Virgo. And so moving into fellow air sign to Gemini, Libra is a comfortable place for it. Libra is all about balance and equality and equity and, just fairness. If something's been way too heavily on one side, it has to catch up. The scales have to even out. So at some point, we all get our justice or just due. Also, mending relationships, like bridging the gap sometimes between two entities or groups through communication. Healing relationships through communication. So we'll keep that in mind as we go into the reading. Speaking of partnerships maybe, or groups of people, or couples of people, beginning with the dice with 29, which is all about spiritual partnership. Also, forget it. And weekend away. Again, maybe Memorial Weekend, perhaps. I hadn't thought about it prior, but it just popped into my head when I said that it was going to be September 5th. Spirit says spend money. Maybe on a spiritual partnership, because it showed me the 29 again. No. And spiritual partnership doesn't have to be romantic. That can be a business partnership, like spend money, invest in it. Or maybe it is romantic, with sex being the last of the dice. Also, last week, I just wanted to mention, I talked about all the 7s that we were seeing and all the 8s that we were seeing. And I said maybe something could happen again on a national or a global scale somehow. Because also we kept seeing evidence of the energy of Aquarius, which can be about things online and pictures and videos and movies. And also I think in every reading that I did, when I went to do the dice, anytime I used the dice, dirty movie kept coming up. So anyway, I said that it could be on a grand scale. Something else could happen that could capture our attention. I also, on one of the videos I did, went into the fact that it could be something else involving like the racial tensions and whatever. So we see that sort of both happen, right? Like I said it might involve the numbers 7 and 8, which kept popping up. Both happen. We did have on the racial tension front, we had somebody shot in the back 7 times. So that was a 7. And of course, I'm sure everybody's heard by now that Chadwick Boseman passed away yesterday. We were notified yesterday that he passed away of colon cancer. And he was 43, which equals 7. There was also a football player that passed away. I can't think of who it was right now, which is a shame. I think it played for UConn and then New York. I can't think of his name. Anyway, he passed away. He was 53. If it comes to me, I'll mention it during the reading. So, of course, 53 equals 8. So that's 2 7s and an 8 on a national scale. And hopefully that's it, because it hasn't 2020 been enough, let alone this week. But this week has been enough. Everything's been enough. Anyway, let's get into the cards. We're beginning with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, which is about generosity, just like the 6 of Pentacles upright. And actually, this card is very much tied to that energy of Venus, so therefore Libra. And it has even the scales of balance or justice, depending upon what one wishes to call them, in the picture. But to me, maybe not so much in this deck, but there are decks where it's just so Venus because it covers like all 3 of the signs that she rules. So the Libra, the Taurus, of course, with all the Earth, the Pentacles, and the Gemini. This Six of Pentacles is in reverse. So while it's still about generosity, it's probably more so about us not recognizing the generosity available to us. Like people who are willing to help us, people who are around and support us, would give us, you know, an ear to listen to what they have to say, you know, help you get through something, would maybe loan you something, even money, you know, but maybe we don't think about it, or we're not as open to receiving something from somebody else. If we combine it with the fact that Mercury is entering Libra this week, then it can be, there are people who are willing to sort of be the ones to break the ice and extend some sort of offer to us, whether it's a helping hand or to, you know, make up after a dispute or something like that. But if we're closed off, you know, it makes it difficult for somebody to do that. So this card calls for you to like open your eyes and notice all the generosity that's available to you. And also upright is the Page of Wands. Also upright, also in reverse rather, is the Page of Wands in reverse immediately behind this Six of Pentacles. So Page of Wands may be representative of an actual person in your life, perhaps a younger person, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Maybe even a Scorpio. You might say Scorpio, why? Because it's fire or wands, but Scorpio is in part ruled by Mars, the red planet, which is fire. So it could be a younger Scorpio. I'm also seeing that because immediately behind this card is the Ace of Cups upright. So the Page of Wands in reverse can be about like getting some news that you're not really, it's not like the most dire or horrendous thing, but it's like something that you could have done without. Like I wish that didn't happen, because now that just creates a new, you know, a new block for me, or, you know, I wish this thing could have worked out differently because I was hoping to make these strides or those strides afterwards. So something like that. But with the Ace of Cups again immediately behind it, it says, you know what, don't sweat the small stuff, because there's still something coming, maybe that's more appropriate for you, right? That the universe deems as better fitting to you. So let's those are the cards with which we started, because I always shuffle and, you know, like pray over the cards and meditate and all that kind of stuff before I do anybody's reading, including the collective readings. But I don't mind shuffling in front of you guys too. I had stopped doing it for a long time in the interest of time, but, you know, I've been wanting to get back into it and easing back on into it last couple months or so. So with the opening to the Queen of Cups, I was just talking about Scorpio. Yes, I am psychic. It's not just a regular reading, you know. So it's I pick up on energy. And here, the Queen of Cups represents most directly the sign of Scorpio. The Queen in tarot is representative of the fixed sign of a given element most directly. So the fixed sign of the element of water is Scorpio. But of course, this can also be representative of Cancer or Pisces, which there's a Pisces full moon this week, so it could definitely be that also. Or someone likened to those traits or attributes, not a water sign at all. Doesn't have to be a water sign. But if it's a person in your life, it may very well be. Queen of Cups. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. We also have been seeing a lot of these water and air relationships. Knight of Swords in reverse, I mean, it could mean a few things, like it could mean something about some messages being delayed or blocked somehow. Again, maybe somebody hasn't been receptive to allowing somebody to sort of try to break the ice and initiate coming back together in a relationship, be it a friendship, a business situation, a familiar relationship, or even a romantic situation. But with the Queen of Cups here, it would have to be something in which you're somehow emotionally invested. I mean, you can be emotionally invested in any of those things, right? With friends, with family, with romantic partners, even with your business, especially if it's your own business, as opposed to working for somebody else. And something could be going on like that. If it is connected to love, The air sign, if there's an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes, may be the one who's, sort of turned upside down right now and not necessarily feeling completely themselves. Although in love, this can still be a card about getting swept off your feet, especially opposite the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups again, and the Seven of Wands. Make a decision, make sure your heart's in it, and stick to it. Stand your ground. Don't let anybody change your mind unless you want to change your mind. We'll do one more. It's the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So there's something within our grasp that we want, but we're going to it's not going to just fall in, at our feet. We are going to have to put in the effort, the work, but where we do, we will reap the rewards, is what the Eight of Pentacles in reverse says. And that brings us to this very spiritual energy. Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit. Represents the sign of Virgo most directly. And behind the Hermit is the Eight of Swords in reverse. Somebody maybe having previously felt stuck in some sort of situation, maybe in something involving religiosity or even spirituality, like maybe their messages were stuck. They felt like they weren't receiving intuitive guidance, or they even couldn't gauge their own gut feelings and stuff like that. Maybe that is unstuck after some introspection, spending some time just being still. It could be something going on, of course, involving an actual Virgo. This is Virgo season too. Today's Michael Jackson's birthday. I know because it's also my baby sister's birthday, and I told you it's also the feast day of, it's weird to call it a feast day because it's like a negative day, but the feast day of the beheading of St. John the Baptist. The Virgo, in terms of love and relationship, again, this can be something from your past attempting to rekindle itself too. So I'm going to pull 4 cards, one for each element. Fire, beginning with fire because Aries starts off the zodiac. Fire, then earth, then air, then water. In that order, the same way it is ordered in the zodiac. So the first card, the card for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Your card is the Seven of Pentacles, upright. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Two of Swords in reverse. Maybe somebody finally making a decision for themselves, based on, again, on what they feel in their gut, their heart. And then the guidance is to stick to it. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The World, upright. Something's come full circle and done. We can patiently expect to be guided into something new that's better fitting for us, maybe like that Ace of Cups. And last but not least, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The King of Pentacles, upright. Nice. Very nice. Again, our overall energy is the Hermit. Maybe it's you guys that have something going on with a Virgo, or you have some Virgo energy yourselves, or you're just going to have a lucky and fruitful week. I mean, the King of Pentacles is like the energy of, the Midas touch. Everything is just going your way. So, awesome card. All right, so going back to our overall energy first of Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit. I'm just feeling a lot of the spiritual energy from this card. And for us all, I want to say it's important to do the right thing, is what this card's message is, similar to that of strength and even justice, and maybe the sign of or energy of Libra itself. And again, I just mentioned that Mercury, Virgo's ruler, enters Libra this week. So maybe that's why it's showing up, and maybe that's why I'm feeling this way. But when I say do the right thing, that means the right thing for you personally too, not just worrying about the needs or wants of other people. This is very important. Also, more specific to spirituality, you may receive someone, and this could be tied to the Six of Pentacles in reverse, maybe too, and the need to be open to generosity. You may receive somebody in your life this week who's like a mentor or a teacher, even if they're not like a teacher, directly to you to say like, 1+1 = 2, or showing you, pointing to this is the Bible or this is a whatever, not teaching you directly, but somebody who has some sort of wisdom or knowledge that you seek and that it is shared, probably just super organically, probably not at all in a classroom structure, but from whom you can learn something. Maybe somebody with a higher vibration than your own, or at least on your own level. That's important. When I pull the Hierophant, that's one of the things that I tend to tell people it means. That it's about the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves. And when we're surrounding ourselves with other energies, we should, ensure that they align with us and they at least match our own energy or are higher than our own energy. We have to be humble enough to accept that and receive that, and then we can learn something from these people. Thinking in terms of spiritual partnership in 29. Today is the 29th, actually. This can also be about, spiritual romantic relationships, so divine partnerships, twin flame unions. You could meet somebody or come together with this person that you already know, that's predestined for you, this week as well, coming together in some sort of way. Or the card for some of our, or I should say, because it could mean all of these things. The card could mean that we just feel like we need to like withdraw from life or our everyday life or from society or something, even if it's just for a little while, right? You got to go for a walk or something. It's important that you like honor your body's need or your soul's need for that, and not ignore it. And don't worry about it. Like, don't get into your head about why you want to be by yourself and whether or not that's appropriate. It's a temporary thing, but it is appropriate to, of course, nurture ourselves. And that takes us back up to the other reason that I shared, that I've said that it's super important to recognize you're going to make decisions for yourself, that do the right thing for you, and not just be concerned about other people when the Hermit shows up. Again, if it is a romantic interest, this person could very well be a Virgo, and or someone from your past, because the Hermit, in terms of love, is often about rekindling of a relationship, a romantic relationship. All right, so moving on to the fire signs. Again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. All right, you should all feel comfortable getting these messages. You should be feeling more secure than you have in a while. And this is interesting because I recently posted the rest of the astrological readings. You guys really seem to be enjoying them, so thank you. I'm glad. With all the BS that goes on with my channel and with YouTube, there's always, like, it seems, one or two signs that do better than the other. Like they somehow manage to get into the feed. And this particular time, it appears to have been Aries. Have a lot of, or definitely not necessarily a lot, but over 1,000. Whereas at the other ones, they had dropped so low. I didn't even have over 1,000 views on them, but over 1,000, maybe closer to 2,000 views on the Aries reading. And one of the things that seems to be a common theme among the people that commented was about this feeling of sort of like that real genuine Aries energy, sort of feeling stuck and trapped. And at the end of their reading, I pull, at the end of all the readings, I pull advice for those who identify as the masculine archetype and those who identify as a feminine archetype. And you guys know that I use several tarot decks in my reading. So I was using two tarot decks at the time, and each archetype got an Emperor card, which represents the signs of Aries and Scorpio, and Mars, their ruler. And so that is about becoming, again, empowered, getting your strength and energy back, and just becoming more hopeful and strong and organized, and a go-getter, and doing for yourself. And so this Seven of Pentacles is demonstrating that yes, we've moved into that energy, and it's with just cause that you're feeling more hopeful, and that things are going to be better moving forward. You may also need to decide, in juggling some of this stuff, where to put and spend your energy, right? And in terms of what you're trying to manifest in your life. It's going to be important to choose wisely. Like, don't waste yourself, basically, is your message, fire signs. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Capricorn, I didn't mention, where Pallas, the asteroid, goes direct this week. There's been a number of celestial bodies that have been retrograde in Capricorn, with Pallas being one of them. That's one of the things that happens on the 5th too. Pallas goes direct. All right, anyway, your card is the Two of Swords in reverse. And it's funny because this card, even in a general sense, is about partnership, and not necessarily romantic partnership. Again, it could be any kind of, coupling or partnership, but your partnerships becoming deeper and more important in your life, like taking a step, in the forefront. So if it's connected to this energy of hermit, let's say, for example, and romantic partnerships, that rekindled relationship, or that relationship from your past, you may be putting that to the forefront of your life. Maybe it went to the back burner, so that you could get through certain things. Well, I got to make some money first. I got to go to school first. I got to, I met somebody else in the meantime. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. I got to, tend to this relationship. Oh, I got to raise these kids now. Oh, I got, all that kind of stuff. And it got pushed to the back burner. And basically, you're now realizing that you pushed perhaps the love of your life or something to the back burner. That's very possible. You may even need to decide that, like, if there's something does come up to be rekindled, are you interested? That's going to be a decision too. But overall, this is about a deepening of partnerships, the Two of Swords in reverse. And what's going to be important is the balance. So thinking back to the Libra energy, and also the balance that all cards with twos represent too. The balance in not putting too much emphasis on any one partnership. Like, if you may have more than one partnership to which to dole out your time. And then you just need to decide. You may have several priorities. And then you may need to decide in what order, you're going to tend to those things, and how you're going to deal with those things. And then maybe taking a little bit from the fire signs, how much, if any, of your energy you want to give to any one cause or person or situation. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card for us air signs is the World. And again, it's about something coming to an end, something having come full circle. It's a card of completion. And it means, like, we've worked very hard at something and we're almost to the finish line. So this is not the time to quit or give up or to claim that we're tired or something. But we may very well be in need of some sort of rest, relaxation, and we shouldn't be afraid to take it. And that ties back in with the Hermit. We could be getting very close to, on a spiritual level, and maybe even our deepest levels. And this is taking me back also into the fact that, again, there's a Pisces full moon this week. Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, which is currently located in Pisces retrograde. There's a full moon there. So this should be pretty intense and pretty interesting. And also Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So that's about endings too. So full moons are about endings. Pisces rules the 12th house as the 12th sign. And so that's about endings. And its ruler is about our deepest energies. And of course, this card, Major Arcana card 21, is a 12 transposed, right? So maybe that's where I'm getting the 12th house, and the 12th sign is coming through so strong. Because the world for me usually feels like a fire sign, a fire energy, not water. But I'm definitely getting a bunch of Pisces from it right now. So I think that's what it's about for us, for the most part. Something could be coming to an end, if it hasn't ended already, recently, and it may not be rushed. Like, so we might not wake up tomorrow and it's over. When it's the world. The world is similar to the tower for me, but the tower is abrupt. The tower is quick. The tower is, man, I didn't expect that. The world, we end up getting some sort of warning, like, your job is coming to an end, but I'm going to pay you 2 months severance. So it's like, that something's finishing that maybe you wish you could remain in, or maybe you realize, because I tend to think that the world is something that the universe gave us an opportunity ourselves to end this relationship, living condition, job, something, right? Some sort of circumstance. Gave us an opportunity to do it ourselves. We didn't. So now the universe is stepping in to say, I'll do it for you. But I'm not going to just thrust you out of this energy. I'm going to ease you out. And I'm also going to congratulate you for your part in working toward the end, right? The end of it. So you get eased out of a situation. So there's warning. There shouldn't be anything abrupt happening. But it also may require some patience. So sometimes we want things to, once we get some sort of inkling that something's coming to an end, sometimes we really want it to. Maybe we really want out of a bad relationship. We've wanted out of it for a long time, but we didn't have whatever, the oomph at the time to pull ourselves out of it, and now the universe is somehow, and so now we really want it over, or a living condition. Maybe we're thankful, of course, to have a place to live, have a roof over our head, but this is not where we wanted to live, and we should have taken steps before to get out of mama's house or dad, wherever we are, or to move to a better neighborhood when we had, or buy a home when we had the money and the credit and the ability and whatever, and we didn't. Instead, we rented, whatever the case is, and so now when the opportunity is coming up again, and now we want to hurry up, right? Now we just can't wait. That's the thing with the world that can be not so great. It can require patience. Patience. Spiritually, we may be getting some very clear, visions, flashes. They can come in different ways. Sort of like the dream, but not necessarily when you're asleep. I mean, of course it can come through when you're asleep too. But these can be visions that you're having even while awake, and you, even if you're not used to having those. And that's also very heavily Neptune and Pisces, but it's just one of the spiritual meanings of the world. If there's somebody with whom you desire to share these visions or insights, epiphanies, dreams in your sleep, whatever you're having, whether it's close friends, family members, or even, somebody online, maybe somebody else from the spiritual community who would get it, as opposed to sometimes some of the other people in our lives, you should go ahead and share that information. That's our spiritual message. So moving on to, again, last but not least, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Again, the King of Pentacles is a super positive omen, is representative of the energy of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. For you Scorpios, we saw that Scorpio energy pop up before. Your other ruler, other than Mars, Pluto, is actually one of those celestial bodies that's retrograde in Capricorn, so that could be what that's about. I want to, talk about the spirituality of this card, because like I said, we all get what the King of Pentacles represents. In love, it can be about being swept off your feet, similar to what I said about the Knight of Swords. And I did talk about all these water and air combinations that have been coming to the surface again recently. So there could definitely be something to that, and just real love. Again, maybe somebody from your past. who I've always known to be, who the universe showed me, to be my divine masculine, is actually a Scorpio with the Virgo moon or Virgo rising, one of those. So it could be something like that. And of course, I'm an air sign. That's why I mentioned that. But I think, yeah, that this card for you, I mean, it can be about love and partnerships, but I think I need to talk about the spirituality, and maybe, again, even in combination with love and relationship. Maybe that was why I was guided. And things come out of my mouth, and I don't even know why I'm saying them. But maybe that's why I was guided just now to mention my own divine masculine and his being a Scorpio and Virgo, because it's talking about these spiritually based relationships. And whether it's for the purposes of a romantic relationship or not, in terms of your spirituality, it's very possible that you guys just sort of feel like you don't just know where to go, don't know where to turn in order to nurture your spirituality, nurture your soul. It's like, okay, where do I go for this? And that's probably because you spent a lot of your time, I guess especially those of you with earth energy yourself, they're very dedicated, and the Capricorn in particular is considered the workhorse of the zodiac. So if you have that sort of energy about you, you've been putting your focus maybe for several years on work, on your credit, again, on like financial stability, the ability to provide, especially for you masculines or males among you. There's a certain lifestyle you want to be able to have, maybe because you didn't have it in the past as a child, or maybe because you did, and that's why you want to make sure that you maintain it. But that's been your focus. And so while you were looking at that, and maybe some of the rest of us were walking around broke and meditating, you miss, like, the spiritual bus. And now you're looking to delve into it. And I'm not saying that you did it out of order. Maybe other people did it out of order, because at least you have been focusing on getting yourself together first, right? So definitely for you guys, there could be getting swept off your feet. There could be, again, an ex, a relationship being rekindled, and maybe a spiritually based relationship, as in a divine union, a soulmate relationship, a twin flame relationship, or maybe meeting somebody like that for the first time, or consciously deciding, maybe for the first time, or for first time in a long time, to delve into your spirituality some more. On that note, let's look at some more cards. And I see that we're going to start with another very spiritual card, one that I mentioned earlier, and one that is also of the suit of Earth. I hadn't noticed while it was sitting here away, but it is Major Arcana Card 5, Unity, or the Hierophant. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. So, of course, again, that can include friends, family members, business partners, or absolutely romantic interests and lovers. Behind it is Major Arcana Card Strength, which is another one of these 11s or 2s. So again, automatically partnership. But Strength, representative of the sign of Leo most directly, is a wonderful card in any and every area of your life that it touches. So in a general sense, it's about you having the strength, the wherewithal, the ability to face any and everything that comes your way. In terms of work and finance, it's about an increase, right? Your finances being strengthened, your pockets being strengthened. In terms of love and relationships, same thing, deepening, strengthening of relationships. So a positive card. And that could be happening with family members, with close friends, or again, with romantic interests, with the 10 of Cups also up right behind this. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. There's that word balance, again, and like, again, the Libra energy, and as well as the energy of 2, the number 2. Also up right behind that, another Page of Wands, when we started out with the Page of Wands in reverse. Energetic, outgoing, optimistic, and creative. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. And staying in the suit and element of fire or wands, it is Major Arcana card 4, which I also mentioned a few moments ago. The Emperor, which represents the planet Mars and the signs of Aries and Scorpio, which it rules. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. So those are our first messages. I'm just going to toss these in here. Oh, look, another 2 of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, another 2 of Swords. I knew I saw the 2 of Swords, but this one is the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. Also a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. And the 2 of Swords shows up in reverse again. So the earth signs, right, were just represented in the other spread by the 2 of Swords in reverse. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, and pretending there's no problem. So this is a card that's about knowing, in my opinion, what it is you want to decide. I'm going here and on top of the Ace of Pentacles. Knowing what you want to decide, but because you're concerned about other people, and we talked about this, right? Because you're concerned about other people, you don't decide. Because if I make that decision, even though it's right for me and it's going to make me happy, it's going to upset this one, it's going to upset that one, it's going to upset society, whatever. So I'd rather just do nothing. That's what that means. Also revealed is the 2 of Cups, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. And look at what it sits atop, the Page of Pentacles. Some more of this Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy showing up yet again. Scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging and maybe a new area of study. Yes, probably something spiritual. Very spiritual with the 8 of Cups also here. Desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful. Spiritual and emotional growth. Just threw that in on top of the Queen of Swords. And speaking of the Queen of Swords, Major Arcana card 17, or another 8, the Star, which represents the sign of Aquarius most directly, all about communication for one thing, and wishes being granted, dreams coming true, prayers being answered, so manifestation. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. And lastly, of the upright cards, another Hierophant. Major Arcana card 5. Again, unity in this deck as well as the other one. Traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So it's time to be around other people like you. And where I open these cards to, it's just funny. And pointing in the same direction too. Here's Major Arcana card Strength. I'm sticking it in upside down in reverse. Right on top of the 2 of Wands. So it's like another 11 or 2 in the same element of fire, like Strength, in reverse as well. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors or to expand the number of people who are helping you. All right, here's our first Hierophant. And I'm putting him here under, atop life experience. I'm sorry, awakening. I'm looking at life experience, which is the Tower. It's sitting there. Awakening, which is the Hangman, Major Arcana card 12. So I did all that talking about 12 and the planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces, which it rules, which is what this card represents. Look at things in a different perspective. you're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. All right, so we could go on like that forever. Let's get ourselves some other energy here. New cards. I just do this instead of trying to shuffle so many cards because it's 2 decks, so it's like over 100 cards. So that's just too difficult to try to shuffle. But I feel like I mix them up pretty good like this. And I also mix them up other ways, like off camera before I start. Messier ways. All right, where did we end up? With the star. Major Arcana card 17, 8. That is our new overall energy. Happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. Again, this is a card of communication. It's a manifestation. Prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. Possibly even like talking to people online, maybe about spirituality, or maybe trying to do some sort of online dating or something. Page of Wands is also back. So very strong fire energy surrounding us this week. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. They may be lucrative in terms of finances, opportunities too. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. The Ace of Pentacles. This is one of the cards I had thrown a card on top of. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and important documents or contracts. Oops. All right. Crowning the masculine archetype this week is the Ace of Water, also Ace of Cups, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship. Remember the rekindling. Spiritual growth, like I've been feeling and we saw, and enhanced intuition. Maybe even a new home for somebody. Surrounding the masculine. The Page of Cups, also intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. And also there are heightened psychic abilities. So I said, even if you are not used to seeing visions when you're awake and stuff, that could be happening to you this week, especially if you're an air sign or a water sign maybe. A Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Masculine subconscious. The Five of Wands. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. So this is in your mind. You are who was conflicted about something or thinking about a conflict, focus on a conflict you had with somebody, maybe trying to resolve it. Crowning the feminine. Major Arcana card 13, release or death, which represents the sign of Scorpio. The end of a phase or situation. Spiritual transformation. It is time to move on. So again, phase ending. Something's come full circle, especially for us air signs. But for everybody, guess what it is behind it? Another Major Arcana card 13, release or death. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. I love when that happens after you guys have seen me shuffle the cards. You know, sometimes when I have them pre-shuffled and I do it, I mean, to me, I still couldn't make it up if I wanted to. But this way, it's like you really get to see what messages the universe, the spirits, the guides, the ancestors, God wanted to put forth as opposed to what I may be pulling out. And in the feminine subconscious, the Nine of Cups. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. So this is telling us to remain super optimistic and to expect yeses from people, and maybe to be open to giving yeses in terms of affirmations and things that are positive for us when we're dealing with people. Just also want to point out, this is all water, all love and emotion on the side of the feminine this week with death, Nine of Cups. For masculine, it could kind of be similar, because sometimes also the Five of Wands for me is not a card so much of conflict, but like a by any means necessary. I'm in hot pursuit. It's very Martian, as in the planet Mars, which I said, again, is a ruler of Scorpio, and is here crossing the death card in our spread. So it could be like pursuit of something that's going to bring emotional fulfillment to himself. Crowning, the Knight of Swords. I talked about all the air and water, right? Here it is. Knight of Swords is decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. The Knight of Swords is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And in terms of love, this is, again, one of those cards that is about being swept off your feet. I'm mentioning that because of all the love energy we have here with all these cups. At the root or foundation, Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel. So our luck has changed. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. So where we were stuck before, like I said to the fire sign specifically, there's good reason to be optimistic and to look forward to the future, to be encouraged. All right. The wheel most directly represents the planet Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules, but is also connected to the fixed signs. So again, Scorpio, Aquarius, also Taurus, those two hierophants we saw, and Leo. We also had the Strength card here. And at the heart of the matter, last but not least, the Ten of Wands, too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, and that can cause stress-related health concerns. So I think like this is the main message is telling us to, again, pursue what's going to make us happy, to allow ourselves to transition into a new phase and to stop trying to hold on to old energy so that we can like lay down this burden. Even if it's been positive for the most part, like we've gotten a bunch done, because sometimes it's going to be like you're just a super busy person, you got a lot on your plate or whatever. But then also sometimes we can get to the point where it's just like we feel like we're always the ones that's, the shoulder for everybody else to cry on. We're always the ones who is, loaning everybody money to pay their bills. But then when it's time for ours, if they haven't paid us back, we got to struggle by ourselves, all that kind of stuff. And, this is saying, again, this is all about love and emotions in a positive sense. So this is about being alleviated of those kind of feelings. But I will pull another card. I like to pull the upright card, so the next upright card when I do my clarifications, just to see if maybe they'll tell us for the majority to what this burden or feeling of being burdensome is connected. And it's the Ace of Swords, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth in a situation and a challenging beginning. Some of us may feel burdened by something that we need to communicate, something that's like weighing us down. It's heavy on your heart or on your chest, as they say, and you got to speak up, you got to talk. And that could be love. That could be love. That could be like finally being honest about, again, wanting to mend a relationship, whether it's love in a romantic sense or with a friend or a family member, or even doing the job that you want to do, that you would love. Living in the conditions that you would prefer, that you would love, rather than, continuing to stick it out in a situation where you're not happy. Also, again, some actual justice of some sort, maybe involving a legal matter. Even though we haven't seen Major Arcana card justice, that could be coming up for somebody this week with that Libra energy and all of these swords that we keep having. And the Ace of Swords is very much about justice all on its own. So further advice to, I'll use these cards that we have here. Here's the masculines, and we need one of these now for the feminine. So there's our card. And we each have one from each deck. And we also got to keep in mind all of this, like I said, is positive. Our overall energy is the star. So it's things that we've been praying for, wishing for, hoping for that are happening, that are coming to pass, leaving something behind, further for the masculine. How awesome is this? It's a Six of Pentacles. So we started 40 minutes ago, probably, right? when I started this reading with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And I said it's one of my favorite cards, especially in other decks where you can really see Venus. This is one of them. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. And you can see here the Justice. You can see all the scattered air in the back. To me, that's Gemini. So here's Libra, and of course the greenery, the earth is Taurus. This is a card of like the universe sending you help. I was talking about somebody being burdened. The universe sending you help. So even whether it's to get something off your chest or to alleviate some burden in some other capacity for you, there's some sort of assistance, divine intervention coming for you. Masculine. Feminine. Our card is another Ace of Cups. Boom. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. Again, I think it's going to be combinations of those. It's going to be definitely something spiritual, but also there's a lot of relationship energy here too. Masculine, your other card is the Six of Swords. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can now breathe a sigh of relief. Let go of the past and embrace the happier times to come. So this is another card that says, again, the worst is behind you and which to look toward the future. Six of Swords. Some of you could actually be traveling. Sixes are also cards, again, of love, equity, equality, balance. And you got two sixes. And last but not least, again, for the feminine, our card is another Seven of Wands. Defend your beliefs and decisions. So whatever you choose to do that is for you, put your foot down and don't change your mind unless you choose to change your mind. Don't let anybody change it for you. Stand your ground and choose your battles wisely. I hope everyone has enjoyed this general reading. I will be back with the love reading. Oh, wait a minute. Before I leave, for those of you who want to stick around, let me tell you what's going on in the celestial calendar. For the others of you, I thank you for being here. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you're not already. All right. I'm just going to log into my laptop here and tell you what's going on. So again, everything's mostly going down on the 5th. We'll start with September 2nd at 1:22 a.m. the full moon in Pisces, which is 10 degrees Pisces. Maybe that's what the 10 is about. 10. Could be. I will do a separate reading for that, as usual, moon reading. Moving on to September 3rd at 2:12 p.m., Saturn will be conjunct the true node, which is currently Gemini. So both Saturn and Gemini will be at 25 degrees. September 5th at 7:53 a.m., Uranus will be semi-square the true node. So Uranus, ruler of the sign of Aquarius, fellow air sign Aquarius, which has been located in Taurus for years and will continue, will be 10 degrees Taurus and 25 degrees Gemini. And also on September 5th at 3:46 p.m., Mercury enters Libra, as I mentioned, 0 degrees Libra. And last but not least, September 5th at 9:07 p.m., Pallas, the second largest asteroid, I believe, goes direct in Capricorn, 12 degrees Capricorn. So there's another reason for all those 12s. And just to tell you a little bit more and myself about Mercury in Libra, I've gone to www.tarot.com. Mercury in Libra, friendly, diplomatic, and easygoing. Mercury, the communication planet, gets nice and comfortable in the sociable air sign of Libra. The air element is very much about the mind and communication, so Libra meshes quite nicely with Mercury. Libra loves to build bridges and to find ways to overcome differences. It knows that there is more than one side to any situation and wants to harmonize opposing points of view. Mercury's entry into this peacemaking sign signals a time when speech becomes a little bit softer to create more harmony in our relationships. We'll all be a little more apt to bring down the noise level, allowing both sides of an argument to be heard. Because of this, Mercury in Libra is the perfect time to heal wounds caused by arguments and misunderstandings. That could be, again, what this is, focused on an argument of the past and wanting to fix it, wanting to heal the relationship. When the planet of speech and the sign of one-on-one relationships get together, our communication with others comes into focus. This isn't just love relationships we're talking about. It's also about our family, friends, and coworkers too. If we've had any fights or if we've been holding on to long-term grudge, and those Scorpios, they can hold on to something. I'm telling you, my mother's a Scorpio. Like I said, my masculine is a Scorpio. My baby's a Scorpio, my youngest child. I know quite a few. One of my best friends is a Scorpio. I have another good friend that's a Scorpio. They can hold a grudge for life, I promise you. So it could definitely be a bunch of y'all Scorpios out there who's finally ready to put them to rest, because of the energy that you're feeling. Diplomacy takes center stage when Mercury is in Libra. Libra is represented by the scales of justice in astrology, so it makes sense that we'll be more objective during this time, attempting to approach every situation in a fair-minded and balanced way. Think of this transit as a gentle reminder from the universe on the importance of considering others' perspectives and embracing the beauty of compromise. One challenge of this transit is the tendency to be a little too nice. Don't sugarcoat things or withhold information just to avoid rocking the boat, as kindness could end up being a barrier to real communication. We need to realize there are many ways to connect with someone, and agreement is only one of them. Expressing opposing beliefs with respect to and openness is a terrific way to strengthen any partnership. So again, I hope you guys that stuck around have enjoyed the general reading. If you did, please do hit the like button, the thumbs up, or whatever they call it. I appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. Please do comment. I try to answer any and every comment that I receive or that YouTube shows me, because I also realize that sometimes they're in this, YouTube sucks them into a vacuum. But if I see them, I try to answer every comment that I receive. And I don't mind talking to people for free and helping them out where I can for free with, answers to questions and stuff. And if you don't mind sharing, please do that too. Sharing is caring. Namaste. I'll be back with love.